So this is me. My name is Dr. Adeshola Cole. I have three amazing children, aged 15, 9, and 7. I had to think about that. So a little bit about myself. I was born in Hackney in London, and then I lived with my foster parents in Birmingham up until the age of 11. At the age of 11, I was then taken to Nigeria, where I finished the remainder of my secondary school and university education. So I went to Ifako International, and then I went to Lagos State University, otherwise known as LASU, and I studied literature in English. So from there, I graduated. I presented my dissertation, and then at that point, I wanted to come back home. I mean, it'd been over 10, 11 years. And during that time, my family didn't allow me to come back for holidays because they felt that I would run away. So I presented my dissertation and I came back to the UK. And then from there, I started to do odd jobs, such as working in a hotel. So I used to be like a hotel cleaner or a chambermaid, cleaning rooms, 10 to 15 rooms a day. And then from there, I used to work for a Jewish bakery in Stamford Hill, selling cakes, donuts, and everything else. And then from there, I found my way in a gambling company, otherwise known as William Hill, selling bets. And then from there, I found my way in the bank, NatWest Bank. I started off as a cashier, counting the money and the checks. And then I was promoted to a customer advisor. I was a good seller. I could sell your loans, mortgages, home insurance, life insurance, credit cards, savings, everything. I would sell it to you. And then from there, I was then promoted to a bank manager, all within the bank. So I was within the bank for 10 years. But being 10 years in the bank, I became very frustrated because I wasn't getting the remuneration of what I was doing. So I wasn't getting any pay rises, I wasn't getting any bonuses, and I just became very unfulfilled within that role. So as you do, I used to moan and complain about everything. I would moan and complain to friends. And you begin to challenge everything within that company. And then all of a sudden, I became that stereotypical Black woman that challenged and questioned everything because I was so unhappy. So I was speaking to a friend of mine and he said, why don't you try and get into tech? Then we never used to say transition into tech. It was just a case of, why don't you try project management and business analysis? So from there, I did a training similar to what I now run. And within 3 months, I secured my success story. So I got a job as a project manager within 3 to 4 months of joining that program. So that was how I transitioned into tech itself. Now, the genesis of TriTech. In March 2017, I think I'd just given birth to baby number 3. And I was about to go on maternity. So I thought to myself, why don't I just create a little something to get me by, a little TriTech? And in March, I created TriTech. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't really have a goal or vision of how big or how impactful TriTech was going to be. It was just something to get me by. And I remember that we started with just 2 candidates in Tottenham. And here we are today, 2024, with multiple awards and many success stories, which are all evident on our page. However, I'm just going to read through some of the awards. Mentor of the Year within the company that I left. So within that company where I secured my success story, I was also a mentor, and I was one of the top mentors there before I left. So I won Mentor of the Year 2016, Woman of the Year 2018, a recipient of the Youth Empowerment Award 2020, again, Woman of the Year 2022, a Rotary Recognition Award in 2022, Emerging CEO of the Year 2022, an African Achievers Legacy Award 2022, Global Excellence Outstanding Woman in Tech Award 2023, we were featured in Forbes Africa, where we did an interview about how much we've impacted the community. And that was in February 2023. And just recently, oh, it's got 2024 on there, sorry, 2023. But anyway, featured as the top 100 most impactful people 2024. So that's a typo there. Let's have a look at the next page. And these are some of the features. So on Tuesday, I'm also going for another award, Top 100 Influential People Globally. So I'm going for that award on Tuesday. These are some of our features, some of our newspapers and things that we've done, and so on and so forth. But yes, amazing things that not just myself, but my amazing team have done. And one thing I always say is that, yes, Adeshola is, the face of TriTech, but I have an amazing, outstanding, supportive team that have been with me for many, many years. So together combined, we make TriTech what it is. And thank you so much to everyone for all your lovely comments. Thank you so much. Next slide, please. Memorable moments. So this was me, very obvious, but I'm here at the House of Parliament where I delivered a session on AI and fintech. So this was a couple of months ago. I was really, really nervous about this. But yeah, that's me there delivering a session on that. Let's have a look at the next slide. Oh, thank you, Nana. Thank you so much. Next slide. This was me with Tom Tugendat, who is, I think, the cybersecurity or security minister. I was delivering a session on cybersecurity. So this was me again, another memorable moment. Next slide, please. And this was me just a few weeks ago, where I was invited to breakfast with Lord Dominic Johnson, former Minister of State for Business and Trade. So it's amazing to see that TriTech is getting, yes, I studied literature and English. So it's amazing to see that we're getting called out to have amazing sessions with guys in the House of Parliament and so on and so forth. Next slide, please. And thank you to everyone for all your lovely comments. So why do you need to join TriTech today? I mean, have I convinced you enough, or do I need to carry on? Or should we just close the session and everybody join right now? Let me know in the chat. Or you want me to carry on convincing you? I don't mind. But yeah, this is to highlight why you need to join TriTech. Okay, Olamide, that's fine. So why you need to join TriTech today? I think first and foremost, the success stories that we have amassed over the years, over 3,000 success stories and more. These are candidates from no experience, no tech background, and their lives have changed for the better. Another reason why you need to join us today is because our package is for 9 months. So we train you in both project management and business analysis, and I'm going to explain why in a moment. But when you join us today, the package is all inclusive for 9 months. Another reason why you need to join us is because we have now included AI within our curriculum. So do we agree that there's a huge buzz around AI right now? Do we agree that AI is everywhere? You turn to the left, you turn to the right, you go on Instagram, you go on TikTok, you go on Google. So we have now included this in our training. So you're going to have, so 9 months, I will talk about what's included within that 9 months. So do not worry. So yes, we've included AI into our curriculum. Another reason why you need to join us is we do career coaching. We have career coaching workshop clinics as well. We have monthly webinars on LinkedIn optimization and CV writing, and so on and so forth. So there are many reasons why you need to join TriTech. Let's have a look at the next slide. Another reason why you need to join TriTech is because, and this is the best time to join us right now, we have now onboarded a new immigration advisor known as Sir, please forgive me if I don't pronounce his name properly, Sir Daberichi Iwaha. And his job is to give you that advice that you need regarding your immigration status. So we did some analysis and we realized that, oh, you were kicked out, Esther, so sorry. Okay, so we realized that a lot of you or a lot of our candidates have so many questions in regards to their immigration status. So we've just onboarded Sir Daberici, and so we just had a monthly session 2 days ago, but every month he's going to be having sessions with all of you in regards to your current status, and then of course consultations and so on and so forth. So that's another reason why you need to join us today. And he's absolutely amazing. If you read his profile, you will be wowed. Let's have a look at the next slide. So I talked about AI training, and obviously what would be included in that is, understanding AI itself, all of the different AIs or AI applications in project management and business analysis, understanding best practices for integrating AI, and then of course the work experience as well. Let's have a look at the next slide. Who is Esther? Olafisoi, please. Okay, so the roadmap. So remember I talked about the fact that the program is for how long, guys? Who can guess? I mentioned it. How long is the program for? 9 months. Now, what I mean is that you have 9 months on the platform. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to wait 9 months to get your success story, okay? So we give you 9 months to do what you need to do. Some people get their success story in 3 months. Some people get their success story in 6 months, but we give you a 9-month window. So on the screen is the roadmap itself. And this is what I am going to explain. And this clearly outlines, that's amazing. That clearly outlines what's going to happen from when you join us today to when you hopefully get your success story. So I am assuming that you're on this call because you want to get your success story. Is that correct? Is there any other reason why you're on this call? Give me a yes, give me a no. If your answer is no, I will be very worried right now. So we have a 10-step process. And as you can see on the screen, it's clearly numbered from 1 to 10. So what happens first and foremost is step 1. We give you access to our TriTech digital library. So we know what a library is. Yeah, for those of us that still go to the libraries, I do not. But your library is where you go to get your resources and everything else. TDL, otherwise known as your TriTech Digital Library, is, yes, we used to call it LMS, but we decided to, refine it and give it another name. So TDL, think of it as your Netflix, yeah? So you know what your Netflix is and your YouTube. All I will say is the moment you log into TDL, you are going to forget everything about Netflix and YouTube, yeah? And hold me to that. And I'm going to show you the beauty of TDL in a moment. So that's step 1. You will be given access to your library today. There's over 200 videos on there outside of your training. So this is not your training. These are additional content and supporting materials to help you along the way. There are videos on, for example, emotional intelligence. There are videos on AI. There are videos on cybersecurity. There are videos on data, big data, you name it. So I'm going to show you that in a moment. Step 2, hybrid training. So in TriTech, we train you for both project management and also business analysis. Any guesses in the chat why we train you on both? So why do you think we train you in both project management and also business analysis? Yeah, they're both interlinked with each other. They work hand in hand. Why else? What's happening in the market right now? Similar industry. It gives you the full package. Similar, I would say, okay, similar in terms of the industry and so on. You're getting the full package. They complement each other. And as someone has said, there's a huge demand for them. So what we do in TriTech is have you trained in both. So that means that you can be trained as a project manager and also as a business analyst at the same time. What that then means is that when you apply for jobs, you can highlight in your CV that you actually have knowledge and experience in both. So that's number one. So it gives you an added advantage within this ever competitive industry. The industry is very competitive right now. So it's important that you're able to showcase your knowledge and skills as much as possible. Another reason why we train you in project management and also business analysis is for some of you on this call right now, you are a little bit confused or you're not sure of what routes to take. So let me know in the chat if you fall into that category. So for example, you're not sure whether you're a project manager or a business analyst, or perhaps you have friends that are BAs and you're thinking you're a BA, but in actual fact, you're more of a project manager and vice versa. So we have many candidates, right, that will say, oh yeah, I want to be a project manager, you know, and then when they do the training, they realize that they're more suited to the role of a BA. And we have some people that are adamant that they want to be BAs, and then they join the program and they realize that they're more suited to the role of the project manager. So we train you in both, and then you can decide when it's time for your work experience, you can decide on which one to focus on. Well, after I've had the training in both, do I now focus on the project management side of things for my work experience, or the business analysis side of things, or just become a hybrid, get knowledge and experience in everything, and then go and get my job? Yes, Faith, we do. So that's step 2, your hybrid training. Step 3 is a little mini assessment. I know nobody likes exams and assessments, but it's just to test your knowledge in order to help you in areas that you need to improve on, okay? So you will do the assessment and it helps you in a way to really understand the things that you need to work on or improve on. Step 4, practical work experience. I'm sure you will agree with me that in order for you to secure a role in this industry, your work experience is paramount. You can have all the certificates and all the degrees and everything else, but when you go for an interview, the interviewer wants to know how, when, and why. They want you to show them instead of telling them. And also with the interview process right now, it's becoming more and more robust. So in TriTech, we give you practical work experience. The work experience is for 3 to 4 months. Again, some people, they get their success story before the completion of the project. However, it's important that you understand that the work experience is for 3 to 4 months, and we give you real projects. Now, a lot of the projects that you're going to be working on are going to be digital and tech-related projects. Why do you think that is, guys? So why do you think that the work experience, yes, Oluwaseun, I've already mentioned that AI will be included in your training. Yes. So guys, any guesses why your work experience is very tech related? Because of the demand. Tech is all around us. Digital transformation is all around us. And therefore, yes, you can. Toyin, guys, can we answer the questions in the chat? Please, please, thank you. I'm talking to the staff, by the way. Tech is all around us, and therefore it's important that we give you the right exposure. So the type of projects that you're going to be working on are going to be AI-related projects. A little bit of AI, a little bit of data, a little bit of cybersecurity, but projects that are in demand to ensure that you are relatable within the industry itself. Is it excited? Are we getting excited? Is it getting more and more exciting, right? Fantastic. Thank you, Toyin. Okay, so that is step 4, your work experience. And then we have step 5, which is your career coaching. Once you've completed your work experience, you would then be handed over to our career coaches. We have 3 amazing, fantastic career coaches, and their job is to spend 4 weeks with you, helping you in terms of your LinkedIn profile, your interview preparation, your nervousness, you know, when you get nervous for interviews, job search strategies, how to deal with imposter syndrome, how to boost that confidence when you have an interview, and everything else in between. So you would be with them for 4 weeks. Now, step 6 and 7 work hand in hand together. Every month, we have what we call knowledge sharing sessions, KSS sessions. And these are sessions that everybody joins in TriTech. So they're coaching sessions delivered by our mentors who have already secured their success story. So they could have a session on, for example, AI, or a session on interview preparation, or a session on imposter syndrome, and so on. Everything is online, and so on and so forth. So that's step 6 and 7. And then we go to step 8, mentorship. Your mentorship is when you have an interview. So the moment you have an interview lined up, we will make sure that we allocate a mentor who is going to prepare you for that interview. Isn't that fantastic? So how many of you on this call have tried or attempted to go for an interview? You've tried, or you thought, let me just test the waters. Let me just, try an interview. And do we agree that the interview process is not as easy as what it used to be? Yeah. I remember back in the day, and I feel really old when I say this, but back in the day, you'd go for an interview and they'll just say, tell me about Agile, tell me about a project, tell me about your stakeholders. But now we're talking 3-stage, 4-stage interviews. Yeah. We're talking show me and tell me, cite examples, give presentations, here's a case study, and this is what you need to do, boom, boom, boom. So our job is to make sure that when, sometimes you're requested to give a template, yes. So our job is to make sure that when you have an interview, a mentor is there to help you and guide you with that interview. They're of course not going to do the interview for you, but let's say you have a case study or you have a presentation and so on and so forth, we would allocate the right mentor for you. So if you have a BA interview, we would give you a BA mentor. If you have a project management interview, we would give you a PM mentor. If you have a PMO interview, we would give you a PMO mentor, and so on and so forth. And then we go to step 9, which is ultimately where you want to get to, because that is where you get your success story. Okay. So step 9 is where we want every candidate to get to, providing you've done your training, which is your 7 Saturdays. I forgot to mention that. Providing you're logging into your TDL, your digital library, providing you're joining the career coaching, providing you're rolling up your sleeves and getting involved with the work experience. And then step 9, you get your success story, and we would give you a reference. We have companies under the umbrella of TriTech. So TriTech is a training company, but we also have our own digital companies that you would work under, and that's where you would be giving your referencing. And step 10 is joining our alumni platform, where you're networking with like-minded individuals who have secured their success story. Okay, let's have a look at the next slide. You're interested in PMO, that's fantastic. Does this training have any qualification? No, it doesn't. Okay, so training dates and times. Your training is for 7 Saturdays. I think I mentioned that just now. Training commences on the 3rd of August, and then you would complete your training on the 14th of September. Now, I know for some people it's holiday season. So for example, I'm sure some of you have got holidays lined up, like myself with my kids. Training is 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Let's say, for example, you've got a holiday lined up or you've got something in between those dates. You have an option of deferring your training to when you're back or available, or the training is already recorded on our TDL platform. And I'm going to show you TDL in a moment. So the training is already on there. So for some of you, when you log in today, you could actually finish your training today. Isn't that fantastic? Let's have a look at the next slide. So Manessa, Very good question. So if some of you work on Saturdays, I am looking at including another schedule, but that won't be till September, October. So the only option you have is to view the recorded sessions already on TDL. So this is our live work experience, like I mentioned. It's for 3 to 4 months. You would be working on live projects, like I mentioned. It's important that you're collaborating with other people. Every project would have a support system. So every project would have a PSA and a BSA. Your PSA is your project support officer, and your BSA is your business analyst support officer. So their jobs are to support you on the project. So what we're not going to do is put you together and then just say, get the job done. What we're going to do is all online. So what we're going to do is put you into a team of ideally 25 people, and you would all be assigned different roles. And then their job is to guide you and help you along the way. Because we understand that for some of you on this call, you have no experience whatsoever. So it's important that we give you that support system that you need. Next slide, please. And how many of you on the call, you love a certificate? Imagine you have put in the work and you're now able to get a lovely certificate. And this is the certificate that you have on here right now. So once you have completed the training, you would be given a certificate of completion. The certificate of completion would highlight the role and the type of project that you have worked on as well. And doesn't this look really, really nice, guys? It's on the screen. Can you see it looks beautiful? It would have the TriTech logo, CPD certified as well, and my lovely signature somewhere on here. So that is your certificate of completion that you can put in your folder or on your wall in your bedroom or your office or whatever. Let's have a look at the next slide. So some of the tools that you're going to be using for your work experience on here. You would have Jira and Confluence and Basecamp and Visio and MS Project as well. Do not worry if none of these tools make sense. So how many of you on this call recognize some of these tools, or you've heard about some of these tools before? Let me know in the chat. Has anyone heard of MS Project, Jira, Confluence, or Visio? Okay, some of you have. If you haven't, let me know as well, just so that I know. Okay, so the majority of you have. Okay, fantastic. So the great thing is that when you start your work experience, you would be given access to these tools as a group. So what that means is the moment you're ready to work on your project, you would be given group access to MS Project, Jira, Confluence, and Visio. For some of you saying that you've never heard of these tools before, that's absolutely fine. I was like that many, many years ago. I had no idea what Jira was, Confluence, and everything else. But we're going to teach you and train you on how to use these tools at group level. So do not worry about that. Next slide, please. So I talked about the career coaches. So does anyone remember what step that was? So remember, there was a step after the work experience where I mentioned that you would be with the career coaches for 4 weeks. I think it was step 5. Step 5. Well done to those of you paying attention. I think it was step 5. Yes, it was. So these are the fantastic 3 that you would be working with: Samuel, Akinloton, Abayomi, or Adeyimika. So either or, you would be allocated to any of these guys for 4 weeks after your work experience, and they are amazing. Samuel works in, I think, RBS or NatWest as a HR professional. So he knows everything about interviews, he knows everything about the techniques, job search strategies, and so on and so forth. And then Abayomi and Adeyimika are career coaches, helping people successfully ace interviews as well. Next slide, please. So I talked about TDL, and we're going to see why I am making so much noise about TDL. So remember that I compared TDL to something. Who can remember? I compared it to something, didn't I? What did I compare it to? Netflix. Thank you, Anu. And I said to you, and don't hold me to this, but I did say that the moment my volume went down, can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? Okay, fantastic. Remember, I said to you that the moment you log into TDL, you are going to forget everything around Netflix and YouTube, and TDL is going to take over your life, literally. I've made a lot of noise about it, and now we're going to see why I have made so much noise about it. So Mohammed, when you're ready, please. So it used to be called LMS, but we decided to have a revamp. So again, some of you are coming in at the right time. We've got this new TDL platform. We've got this new immigration officer that's going to be there to help you guys along the way. This is the best time to join TriTech. So it's had a complete revamp in terms of the look and the feel. It looks a lot nicer. When you log in on your phone, it's also mobile friendly. So there's an app that you can download, and you can also download it on your phone. Plug in your AirPods and do what you have to do. So this is what it looks like, but we're going to have a look at the videos on here. Now, on here, you would have your timetable. So it's very important. You know, when you go to university, what do? You log in or you get your timetable. So it's the same thing in TriTech. Download your timetable so you know exactly what days and times your sessions are, and you can plan yourself accordingly. On here, you also have a personality test. So let's say you're confused, you're not sure whether you're a PM or a BA or a PMO and so on and so forth. Do the personality test, and that will give you a guide in regards to what to focus on. Although I would say hybrid, okay? Your certificates are on here as well and everything in between. But let's have a look at the videos. So on the videos, you would have obviously your project management videos and your business analysis videos. Guys, can we check the questions? It's very, very important. So it's up to you what videos you want to start with first. For me, ultimately, I would start with the project management video. So let's have a look. So these are all of the topics that you have on here. Now, remember, I said to you that this is not your training. Your training is live, but these are additional resources to help you along the way. So that's number one. But remember, I also mentioned that if perhaps you're not available for the 7th, don't worry, okay, just ignore the price. Do not worry about that. Yeah, focus. Just don't worry. We're going to get there in a moment. So remember, I also mentioned that if you're not available for those 7 Saturdays, I know Jumoke is jumping. If you're not available for those 7 Saturdays, what's going to happen? So I mentioned that the sessions are already recorded on TDL. So the live training that you're about to have is already on here. Does everybody understand that, please? It's very, very important. I know, right? Very, very important. Do we understand that? So the live training, guys, can we ignore the fee? Just ignore the fee. I've had an agenda, so focus on the agenda and let's focus on what's on here. Thank you so much. So the live training that you're about to have is already on LMS. So what that means is you can log in today and actually complete your training before the live training itself. That's step one. Now let's have a look at the juicy topics that we have on here. So we have got topics on project governance. We have got topics on stakeholder management. We have even got topics on people management, change management, risk management is on here. We have a lot of videos on digital project management, Google Analytics. Yes, videos on Agile, part 1. And this is not your training, okay? We've even got videos on GDPR, General Data Protection. We have videos on a day in the life of a project manager. What do you actually do when you get into the office from 10 to 5 or 9 to 5? We've got videos on interview preparation, CV writing is on here, LinkedIn optimization is on here as well. We've got videos for the PMOs in the house, and don't worry, I'm going to do some training on that later, understanding what a PMO does. We've even got videos on confidence at work. We've got videos on change management as well. We've got videos, someone said it looks overwhelming. When you go to a library, does it overwhelm you? It's a library, guys. Don't let it overwhelm you, okay? We've got videos on quality management. We've even got videos on how to use PowerPoint, communication skills, how to use the right communication skills. We've got videos on costing. We've got videos on hybrid roles within the tech sector as well. Keep going because of time. So Oluwaseun said change management is very important to him or her. Absolutely. We've got videos on self-awareness and regulation. There's actually a video on Power BI on here as well. Adewale, it's not complex. It's a library. So you select any topic that is of interest to you, and then you play the video. So it's your library. So how do you select any video, or what do you do? So like I said to you, it's a library. So any topic that is of interest to you is what you select and watch. And you have access to this for 9 months. And all you do is select any topic of your choice. So there's even a video on, I just saw emotional intelligence and conflict resolution. Yeah. You select, you press play like so, and then you've got the mentor and the slides. Let's have a look at another video. So let's have a look at that emotional intelligence. I saw that, or anything is fine. Yeah, emotional intelligence and conflict resolution. Again, there you go. The slides are in the background. You can put in your AirPods. So let's say the kids are making a lot of noise. You just put in your AirPods, or you want to go for a walk. You play any video of your choice. Or maybe you're in the office and you just want to mind your business in the office. You play any video, put in your AirPods, and you're good to go. Okay, let's have a look at the BA videos. Very, very quickly. There's someone saying they're lost. Folashade, admin, can we look into that, please? Thank you. So these are just your project management videos. Let's now have a look at the BA videos. So again, the live training that you're going to have for your business analysis training is already recorded on here. Does everybody understand that, please? So let's say you're not available for the Saturdays. The training that you're going to have is already on here. So let's have a look at some of the topics that we have on the BA side of things. We have got topics on, my eyesight's terrible, requirement gathering, requirement documentation, process modeling is on here as well. Keep going a bit quicker because of time, Mohammed. We've even got videos on software testing on here as well. We've got videos on case models. We've got videos on GDPR from a business analysis point of view. Again, we've got a lot of videos on Agile and Scrum. Later, I'm going to do some training on Agile so you understand why there's a huge buzz around Agile at the moment. Keep going a little bit quicker because of time. We've got videos on Scrum Master. For those of you who know what a Scrum Master does, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Guess what? We've even got videos on cybersecurity. So you're paying for project management and business analysis, but we've even given you cybersecurity on here. Isn't that fantastic? Because what's happening all around us right now? Cyber threats everywhere. So we've even got videos on that. We've got videos on business analysis, interview preparation. We've got videos on job application process. We've got videos of a day in the life of a BA. Tableau is on here as well. We've got videos on robotic process automation, change management, big data. So what do companies do with your data? We've even got videos on that. Guess what? We even have videos on AI. Yeah, an introductory session to artificial intelligence is on here. We've got videos on business intelligence on here as well. Agile roles and responsibilities is on here. 2022 business architecture is on here. Confluence is on here as well. Interview preparation, a lot of videos on that. Conflict resolution. There's a lot of content on here. And like I said to you, don't be overwhelmed. This is your library. So again, 9 months is up to you how you use it. We've even got videos on LinkedIn optimization, the difference between a project and a product, what to expect at work, and so on and so forth. So, and this is 2024. We've got videos on digital transformation and technology trends. And again, select any topic that is of interest to you because it's your library. And there you go. Trainers in the background, then you have the slides and so on and so forth. So if you were to describe TDL in one word, how would you describe it? So think about it. You've got AI on here, you've got cybersecurity on there, you've got Scrum Master Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. You've even got software testing on there as well. And that is why it's your library, okay? It's your dictionary, it's your school, it's your new Netflix. Owen, it's not overwhelming, it's a library. So remember when we used to go to the library, because I know like no one really does that like before. And you know, there's so much information. So you just select the things that are of interest to you, but you have it for 9 months, okay? And this is included in your package. Okay, let's crack on because of time. Lillian said, holy moly. So, you know, they say the proof is in the pudding, right? And it's now time to hear from some Tritechians that have tested the program, and they are now a product of the program itself, and they are going to share their journey on how they did it. Please be really, really nice to them. It's not easy to come online and speak to so many people. Faye said, why not 1 year? 9 months is more than enough time. And after 9 months, we hope that by then you would have gotten your success story and so on and so forth. Yes, payments and everything else, I will discuss that in accordance to the agenda that was projected at the beginning of the session. So do not worry, I am going to talk about the payment plans, the juicy discount. I know some of you saw 750, started by Jumoke, but don't worry, there's an amazing discount lined up for you. Jumoke, I'm only playing, by the way. So we have Cynthia, Jamila, Alexandra, and Blessing, and they are going to share their stories. Now, I know that they're all women, but it just means that we could only get hold of the women for today. So who do we have first, Mohammed?
Alexandra, going first.
I know, right, Prosper. Alexandra, when you're ready, please.
Hi. Can you
Hi,
hear me?
Alexandra.
Good morning, everyone. Afternoon, sorry.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you, Adeshola.
You're welcome.
I'm happy to be here with mixed feelings, you know, but it's a good thing that I'm a living testimony. You know, when you go to church, you have testimonies to say. I joined TriTech April 2023 last year. And due to the jackpot for those of us from Nigeria. And it's a different ball game, the project management structure in Nigeria, environment, and the United Kingdom. So my background is from the banking and finance. I had a years in project management, and I wanted a change when I came to the United Kingdom. And I saw TriTech on Instagram. Nobody introduced me to TriTech. And it was amazing. The success stories there, the whole structure. There's a lot, as Adeshola has said, the library is a lot. You just need to get hold of it. The best thing about it is you need to add your time to it. You must create that time to it. And that worked for me. I have experience of project management before. I was certified, and I'm an SAP consultant in the technical field. But then I dropped all I knew to join TriTech. I had to relearn because you're coming in a new environment where you need to learn. Don't come with your knowledge, but you have to add that to it. So I dropped everything. I came like a newbie, and it was interesting. So many things I've been doing differently was more structured. Methodologies were more aligned, and the lessons learned were obvious, that you had people to carry you along, the project support officers, the business support officers. As a project manager, I knew I was doing business analytics by the side, but I didn't know it was all that detailed. So I had to put more effort on my BA than my project management. And it really went well for me. And one thing I must tell us today is you have to be an active participant. Get your hands dirty. Practice the TDL as it is now. Things have really changed. I would say congratulations to TriTech. And it used to be LMS, the Learning Management System. So TDL, it's robust. You need to just keep using it at your own pace. As much as you're doing that, join the meetings, the knowledge sharing sessions. You will learn more from experienced people, the sharing their experiences, their knowledge, and you have to take that and practice self-paced, but you need to be fast too, so that you catch up with every meeting and you add your own experience or what you've learned along the line. So for me, TriTech was a learning base in the United Kingdom. It helped me too during my interviews. So I will also advise, as much as you think you're not there yet, start early in your job search. I had a little basketballs, unfortunately, yes, it's going to come. Don't give up. But as much as you are learning, TriTech is there to guide you too, and your experiences are being played back, and you are able to get through the fear, the presentations, and of course, the interview sessions in the United Kingdom is different. You have to show that you know it hands-on. That is why you must participate in your project. Join meetings. It's a lot. I did my MSc here. I have a family. I had to do a part-time job as a business support officer too. So all that, I lost sleep. I fell ill. But at the end of the day, my success story is I'm a program officer in NHS, and it's a lovely post for me due to the experience I got from TriTech. They are there to help you. Your certificate will be given to you. It's a good evidence for me that yes, I finished through and I got this. The references too. It was amazing when the story was like, wow. So all that put together, TriTech has put a lot together. I'm going to say again, I missed the AI training. I don't know if how to get back to it.
Sorry.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm doing by the side as a PMI member. You're able to get part of that. So as much as you are getting this on a platter of gold, please take every advantage. I couldn't finish the library. I did not, because you have a lot doing. But as much as you can, don't miss your sessions, participate in your project. That 3 months is a lot for you, especially for those who are not experienced. Take all advantages. Make use of the timing. Participate, join meetings, come as a collaborative team member, add your voice, make everything known, like you got to learn, and keep practicing. That's why the TDL is there. Keep practicing, and the sky is your limit. You have to be consistent, proactive, resilient, and ask questions where you don't know. That's what works for me. Drop all you know and start learning to relearn. Then put everything together. Thank you.
Well done. The latest program. Is it program officer, you said?
Yes, please. Yes.
That's a big one. So
It
not
is.
even a project manager. You went in like,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. Well done. And
Thank
how are you
you.
finding it at the moment?
It's interesting and overwhelming at the same time because you're relating to different stakeholders.
Okay.
And, yes, and in an environment where you haven't worked before,
Mm-hmm.
you need to learn people,
Mm-hmm.
accent differences, kind of work style, it's different.
Yeah.
And they are welcoming, of course, the quality and diversity, it's helping you go through.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
of course, the training. So onboarding has been very interesting, and you just need to get working because that's what I was interviewed for. I had 4 stages of interview. 4 stages. Yes.
4 stages. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And for your how and all that, I had to plan a project live, with my MSP. So those
Wow.
tools are very important. They could give you anything to play with, and you're dealing with program managers, program directors, and all that. So you don't even know what next stage is going to take you to. So learn how to use those tools. It's very important. It's not what you know, like just say a story. Hands-on, it's important. How do you do it? When do you do it? Where did you do it? So you have to give the STAR approach to interview. So you have to learn the STAR approach and behavioral
competencies. Yeah.
Yes. So that will help you. So again, participate in your project, join meetings. The knowledge sharing, it's amazing, especially for the BA part. If you're going to do BA, you must learn how to use those tools. That's important.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Alexandra. All the best. And
Thank you.
please do us proud.
I will. I already
Thank
did
you
15
so much.
interviews. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes, bye.
Okay, Mohammed, who do we have next?
Jamila going next. Jamila, when you're ready, please.
Hi everyone.
Hi, Jamila.
Hi, it's nice to meet you guys again.
Hi. I think we can see. Okay. Over to you.
I'm unable to join with my video because of where I am at the moment.
That's fine.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to dive straight into it. So I joined last year in May. I came into the UK in January of 2023. And then when I came in, I just knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to just, just key into the market, the job market, because I already did some research. So I said I was going to train as a BA. And then I went on Instagram. I just Googled and I saw a lot of different ed tech companies, so I went on Instagram as well. I saw TriTech. So I think I sent a DM and I got a link or something. But anyway, I joined the session. I think it was mid-May. I joined, and then at the end of it, I registered, and then I was added to a group of people, and then I participated in the training. It was really, really eye-opening because coming from a legal background, it was like totally new to me, but I was just being very positive. So after the I think it was 6 weeks, the training, and then I was assigned to a project Bumblebee, and it was really, really, I had to make sure because while I was doing the training, I met someone and I told him about TriTech. I was doing a training with TriTech, and then he told me, "Oh, TriTech, he has had some bad reviews that a lot of people he knew had already dropped out." And I was like, "Don't kill my vibe. If they dropped out, it's probably because they weren't paying attention or because they weren't giving their time. Because I know lots of people that are in there and they are giving their time and they are making the best out of it." And then so I stuck to it, and then I finished my project in October of 2023, and I started applying. So when I came into the UK, I was already applying to jobs, but I didn't have a clear vision of what I wanted to I was applying all over the place. But by the time I finished the project, my training, I started applying to BA jobs. I started applying to PM jobs. I started applying to PMO jobs, product owner jobs. Excuse me, it was a lot. And then I was getting the usual rejection that as expected, because we were also told that the rejections will come. But there's, as KK would say, there's a job with your name on it. So I just kept applying. And then at a point, I thought to myself, okay, I've applied to BA jobs. I've applied to lots of PM jobs. Why don't I try and see how I can match my experience in law with what I'm now currently looking to doing. So I applied to, a friend of mine told me about a particular role, and I applied to it. So the role is compliance, project management, and corporate governance, merged together. So that would mean that I would be able to deploy my legal skills and then my project management skills as well. And I applied. I had a first stage interview, and it was so some other person would say it was difficult, but it was a walkover for me because it was like a mixture of all my skills put together. So it was really, really easy for me. It was seamless. But most of the mostly the things I learned during the interview, during my trainings, and those knowledge sharing sessions, the interview tips, the behavioral questions, situational questions, those are things that helped me to like shape, like have an idea of what to expect, and then it made it very easy for me. So I think a month after I applied to that job, to that role, I was given an offer as a global entity coordinator. Excuse me. And I resumed 2 weeks ago. And to be honest, it's a really chilled job. It's a really positive environment, and I'm really, really happy I gave TriTech a try. And what my advice would be to, first of all, be very positive and open-minded. Like, nobody has ever made progress from not being open-minded. And then you need to also dedicate your time, because you're not going to be spoon-fed. Nobody's going to spoon-feed you. The resources you need are already there for you. The learning TDS, because when I joined, it was LMS, but I don't know what it's called now.
TDL.
TDL, sorry.
Yeah.
So TDL is there for you. You need to actually, just dedicate time, and knowing, like, begin with the end in mind. You know what you're trying to achieve, what you want. So when you're doing the trainings, you need to put in the work. When you're in the projects, I was in my project as a hybrid member, and it was really helpful for me because I approached it from both angles. So if you're deployed to a project as a BA, it might be a good idea to volunteer to be hybrid as well, because it just opens up your mind. But ultimately, the most important thing is, if you do the work, you're gonna reap the benefits. And another thing is the rejections. The rejections will come, but it's just going to it's going to make you more seasoned. So the more rejections you get, first of all, you grow a thick skin. Secondly, the more interviews you go to, the better you're going to be at interviews, and the more confident you would be. So I think that's it. That's my success story.
So beautiful, and congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
Two things I love about your story was the fact that you integrated your law experience. Is that correct?
Yeah,
your law
absolutely.
background. Yep. And you didn't allow any negativity to discourage you.
At all.
And thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. And here you are sharing your success story. So proud.
Thank you so much for this platform.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care of your cold.
Thank you.
Who do we have next, Mohammed?
Cynthia, when you're ready, please. You can
Cynthia.
add me
Okay.
and use a video. Thank you.
Like I mentioned, it's not that we cater to just women. We couldn't get any of the men for today. So it's a team full of women. Cynthia, when you're ready.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, I won't be able to use part of my video if that's okay.
Okay, go ahead. That's fine.
Okay. So my name is Cynthia. I'm a lawyer. I came into the UK in January of 2020 to do my master's, and just shortly after I'd arrived, COVID happened. And then when I was finished with my master's, I didn't have a clear direction of what I needed to do next. So I had a chat with one of my friends, and she told me about TriTech. She told me her uncle participated and is currently working and got a sponsorship. So I just got inspired and, read about business analysis, and I just felt it was something I could, try. So in 2022, I enrolled and I was made a BA lead. But I would say I wasn't really active because I had some challenges at the time. So when that project was done, I signed up for a second project and I was made a PMO lead, I think. And so I knew what I wanted. So, and that's why I went for a second project, because if I wanted to take up a role that I have no experience in, I needed, that concentration and, to give it my all. So while I was doing the second project, I think about a month into it, I decided that I was ready to apply for a job, because in the first project I did, I was active but not fully active. But with the second project, I felt I was now ready. So I started making applications. randomly. I'm not even sure where I applied to, but I think about 2 weeks after I started the process, I received an email, and then someone called me and said, you know, they wanted to speak with me, and then we had a chat and said, oh, that they would like, you know, to book a time for an interview, and we got the dates for the interview. They said it was going to be 3 stages, and each interview lasts for at least an hour. I honestly wasn't sure what I was going to say for each interview for an hour, you know. So the interview was very seamless because I put in my time to the project, and most of the questions they asked were more or less like questions about my experience, and my experience with TriTech helped me so much with the interview. As a business analyst lead in my first project, one of the questions they asked me was questions about how to manage a difficult stakeholder. And at the time, I think, I can't remember what it's called, I'm sorry, but a sponsor, yes, our sponsor at the time was Mohammed. And I can remember there was a time we were trying to get, you know, it was a requirement gathering process. We couldn't really reach, you know, Mohammed. We sent emails, spoke to our BA support lead. You know, we just did everything possible to try to get through to Mohammed, but it wasn't possible. So our BSc lead at the time said, you know, to contact him through WhatsApp, and I got his number as a BA lead, and I sent him messages on WhatsApp and said, this is what we wanted to get from you, and he gave me all I needed, you know, and even much more than we had asked. So I shared that experience, you know, during the interview, and the interviewers were so thrilled. So many other questions that were asked, and I knew that if I hadn't, you know, been serious with my, you know, training, I probably wouldn't have been able to ace, you know, that interview. And thankfully, that was the only interview I ever attempted, and I got the job. And I got the job as a business analyst. And then when I resumed, I was also offered another role. So I'm currently working as a business analyst and a change analyst. And thankfully, also, I've also been made a lead for the minority group in my company. It's the largest finance company in the UK. So I'm so grateful for this opportunity TriTech has given me, you know, and I would encourage everyone to please take, you know, the training seriously. If you think your work wouldn't let you attend your trainings and all, just do everything you can. If your goal is to, you know, get a job or get something positive out of, you know, this training, I can assure you that if you're very serious with your trainings, and these things are actually very important, because even in the real world, what you experience in TriTech is what you experience in the real world, and it will help you, you know. So just be very consistent with your training. Make sure you Another thing that also helped was, you know, my team members. I was with the Project Awesome. My team members were so great. Like we used to do our trainings even late into the night, sometimes up until 12 a.m., 11:30 p.m., that late, because we all knew what we wanted. We had so many people who dropped out, but most of us, I can also say for a fact that most of us who stayed back to get serious and get the project done, about 3 of us got a job before we even finished. And most of us, because we created a WhatsApp group where we just interact, and I can say about 70 to 80% of us got a job, you know, afterwards. And some of us, and mine also came with a sponsorship as well.
Yeah,
so
that's amazing. Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and I encourage everyone, you know, just do your best, and I can assure you that you would make something, you know, great out of it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I'm just pumped up. From a lawyer to a BA, and I love the fact that it's a hybrid role, so a BA and a change analyst. That's interesting. And you know, networking with your team, and yeah, so proud of you. And the fact that it came with sponsorship, that's just awesome. So well done to you. So happy. Thank you so much. And finally, Mohammed, who do we have because of time?
Blessing, when you're ready, please. Thank you.
Hi, Blessing.
Hi, it's a privilege to speak with you, Dr.
Hi.
Adeshola.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay, and you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Yeah, right. So I'm just gonna make it short and sweet. They've all
That's
said,
fine.
our stories are quite similar. The long nights doing our projects. In fact, actually, okay, where do I start from? So mine was that I have a background in psychology. So I started my master's in psychology, and I was currently working as an assistant psychology, but I didn't have that satisfaction I needed, in a job. And I was like, is this what I really want to do for my career? So someone in there, as in that was my colleague then, introduced me to Tritech, and I was like, what's Tritech? So I decided to like give it a try, because he told me that he's just got a job, he's working with HMRC, that kind of thing. So I was like, okay, let me have a look. But I'm not a tech lady. I'm not into techs. I'm more like into study of the mind, how the human mind works. So it was like, just try it first. So because I'm someone kind of person that I like to give my all in anything that I put myself to do. So I tried, I gave it everything. I found it was interesting. I mean, I was in this kind of forum, and if you can remember Dr. Adeshola, Daddy LMS, so it was his story that really struck me, and that was where I
Oh,
made up
wow.
my mind. Yeah, that was where I made up my mind that I was gonna give this a trial. Even some of my friends, they were like, how are you sure that these guys giving these success stories are not bots, are not like, it's not like an arrangement. So I was like, anyways, I know that this, I don't know, I just had to listen to that inner voice inside of me. Right. So we got kicking, we did the training, okay, because when we were doing the training, I was doing my dissertation in psychology, and it was crazy, but I just had to find a way to like, cope with the whole stress. And then when we started our life project, I quit my job. It's crazy. It sounds crazy, but I had to do that because I really wanted to concentrate in it. And something inside of me, I felt like I was going to get this the way because of how serious I decided to be with it. So we did the training. I was in what's our team? Project IDA. So we finished, and I was like, no, I don't think this is enough. Like I needed the second training, the second life project, but I mean, we were not, that was what all we could get and everything. So I had to like, this LMS actually is pure gold, it's liquid gold, honestly. So I would encourage anyone who is really going into this to like put his or her mind, like go through it. Like Doc said, you wouldn't even have time to like watch Netflix again, because it's quite interesting. The videos there are like, they're kind of like shadowed in such a way that they're kind of, is for the, because I had no idea in tech. I mean, if you look at my story, like when we used to put our stuff on Basecamp, you'll see me like saying a totally newbie, like I just learned this terminology today, I learned that terminology. So it was like I was nowhere in tech. I didn't know anything in tech. So the videos are kind of formulating in such a way that you will understand the basic English language, So that was where I kept on like upgrading and everything. I did the career coaching. And after that, honestly, instead of going into applying for jobs, I stopped. I had this imposter syndrome. So I'm just saying this so that in case at any point in time, anyone who starts feeling that way, is perfectly normal, because it's you knowing, it's your mind kind of, because I mean, I'm seeing it from the psychology point of view, because that's where I've got my basis. So this is your body, your mind telling you like you need to do some work. And just listen to your voice, listen to that inner voice inside of you, put in all, learn as much, ask questions. I mean, you've got everything you need for your success. It's all arranged in one good, like, in a pack, like a pack full of everything that you want in one. So that was what I did. And I said, okay, when I thought that, okay, I could start trying, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go to the basic level. I'm going to start from the PSO level. I'm not even going for any high level. I was kind of trying to like take it at my own pace. I was like, if once I start there, I can grow, like go up the ladder and all that. So I applied for that role. The first role I applied for, I don't know how I got called for the interview, and I mean, it was so the first ones I was like, oh, let me just use this as an experience. Then maybe when I start having other ones, I can now reach out to TriTech to give me a mentor and everything. And casually, I won't say casually, but I just attended that just to see what it was like, to see what an interview in this aspect, in this what's it called, this field is gonna look like. And they called me later and were like, you've got the job. And I'm like, no. No way, like I'm just this is just me trying, you know. So it's crazy because this is it's a very big government establishment, and these people don't, I mean, I didn't have to tell them, but I knew nothing. Like this was just me trying. And the project, it was called the project support officer. So I was like, okay, fine, let me go in. I will be able to try and everything. But when I got in there, it's not what they put out the role that they expected someone to come do. Like I'm working with two head of one of the head of risk and the other one head of corporate governance and like big names. So the whole of the north of England is what we are handling. And they're telling me that I wowed them, I did this, and I'm like, God, these guys, it's like, this is where we need your expertise, this is our problem, this is what we're facing. I'm like, you know, like it's crazy, but I know now that I have to like really sit up, because maybe it was like I was really looking down on myself. Like I didn't know how much I knew or how much I could deliver. And I was like, I'm going down to that least level and I'm going to apply from there. But how it happened and what they're expecting from me is like, blessing, you don't have to like see yourself as that, you know. So I'm working directly with the heads, and I'm gonna be speaking with sponsors, interrogating them on, you know, the audit, the investment, the everything. Like it's just crazy. So I'm gonna advise everyone, when you start the life project, please, if there's anything you can do, I'm not asking anybody to like quit his or her job or anything, because of course we need to pay bills. But if you can give it everything, if you can just like take your leave, anything, put everything you want into. I mean, it's more like you've just got one chance. It's one life project, so you don't have a second one. So put everything you can, use that opportunity to the maximum. Put everything, learn, because I was a PMO, but I was really deep into business analysis. So I was the products Scrum. I even opted to be one of the Scrum masters. I was everywhere. So I knew how to handle most of all those tools and everything. It wasn't an easy experience, but I've just seen now that it's really worth it. So you all will get there. I mean, it's everyone has got a job, and if I could do it, everybody can. That's the way. That's just what I'm gonna end with. So thank you.
Oh, congratulations. And please believe in yourself. Don't doubt yourself at all. And this is just the beginning. It's just the beginning for you. And I'm sure you're gonna ace it. I'm sure you are. And everyone is happy for you as well in the chat. So well done.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So thank you. 4 amazing speakers, from Cynthia to Jamila to Alexandra to Blessing. If there's anything that you've learned from any of the speakers, what would it be? Okay, so that's why I said what I said. I said that we couldn't find any of the men today, so we had to grab the women that were available. So I've covered that already. Gotcha. Okay, so anything at all, I think don't give up, put in the work. Resilience, I think, is important. Self-determination as well. Unlearn. You have to be intentional. Just, you know, blocking out the noise. People will say different things and try to discourage you, but you know why you're here. Don't listen to rumors as well. So for example, I think it was Jamila that was told XYZ and she said no, and she got a success story. So I think absolutely amazing speakers. And I would say all of them, from one coming from a law background, another person was a lawyer, and I think Blessing was psychology. So no experience at all. And here they are acing it in tech. So huge well done to them. And I hope that they have inspired you as they have inspired me. And this is what gets me going every single time. It's the success stories. Okay, let's have a look at the next slide. Okay, so we're getting to the juicy part now, which is the discounts. So typically the fee is $9.50. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to do this. Typically the fee is $9.50. And that would include your business analysis training, your project management training, your project planning training, your work experience, your knowledge sharing sessions, your career coaching, your mentorship, your alumni platform, access to TDL referencing, and also many other things that we've added as well. So your AI curriculum, and now access to an immigration advisor. So let's have a look at the next slide. So are you ready for the discount that we are about to announce? Is everyone ready? Is Jumoke still on this call? Is she ready? I know, I feel like I'm picking on Jumoke, but it's all good. Is everyone ready, please? So 9:50, I can see a lot of sad faces and sad emojis and everything else in between. But guess what? In TriTech, we're really, really nice. We're very understandable. We understand that this year is a very awkward year. Jumoke, okay. So do we agree? It's a very funny year this year, right? Economically, money is not really there. Everyone's just trying. So in TriTech, we understand these things and we consider these things as well when we announce our fees. Let's have a look at the next slide. Now, guess what? When you join us, and we've been doing this now, I think, since January or so. So when you join us, you would get to choose between any of these courses. So you would have this for free. So either, you can't see the slide, Adeshola, can everyone else see the slide, please? Okay, thank you. Adeshola, maybe log out and log back in. So you would have the option of either choosing the Microsoft Mastery course, where you would be given live training in Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So maybe for some of you that are not proficient, or not the two, or a free course in UI UX. What is UI UX? So think about your phones, think about your websites, think about your Instagram, how they're designed, how you log in, and how you, how you use it as well. So UI stands for user interface and UX stands for user experience. So this is very good if you're very creative, you like to create things, you like to create websites, you know, you have that flair for design and everything else. So we would actually give you this for free. So it's £950 combined for the two courses. And then you will get to select your free course in either Microsoft Office Mastery or UI UX. So let's have a feel in the chat. If you were to select any of these courses, which one would it be? So this is the free course. So if you had the option of A or B, A is Microsoft, B is UI UX, which one would you go for? Okay, a lot of A's. If that was me personally, I would probably do UI UX, just understanding how to design the interface. You know, all those emojis and things that you have, all those reels, on Instagram and TikTok and designing and all of that. I'll probably do UI UX. But again, completely up to you guys. Okay, I think it's a bit of a draw. But anyway, you have any of these courses for free. Let's get to the nitty gritty, which is the discount, of course. Yes. Oh, so you can combine your PM and BA if that's what you need. Or are you asking if you can have these, both of these? Is that correct? Okay, let's have a look at the next slide. I'll have a think about that and I'll get back to you guys shortly. Guys, okay, let me think about that and then I'll get back to you. But let's have a look at the next page. Okay, so yes, I'm going to think about that and get back to you shortly. £950 discounted to £650. So if you've already learned UI UX, then obviously you would go for Microsoft. But I'm going to think about the option of giving you both. But I will think about that and announce it shortly before we end the session. £650 is the discount for today. It's a no-brainer, but there's a big but. So let's have a look at the next page. Okay, so we also have an early bird discount. So the early bird discount is £489. So early bird means the sooner you get in, the better. And it simply means that £489 is for full payment. So this is an early bird discount for the first, it's got 10 on here, 20 people. I'm going to talk about installments in a moment. Let me just focus on this and I'll go to the next slide. So full payment is £489. So that means you're ready to pay in full. It's an early bird offer for the first 20 people only. So all you would need to do is text any of the numbers on the screen. You have Esther, Adejoke, and Lolade. You text the word payment. You can pay via credit card, debit card, or a transfer. So the early bird is for the first 20 people only, 489. Andy Khan, what does this cover? The training, the experience, the career coaching, TDL, and everything that I have mentioned. Very, very quickly, let's go to the second slide. So if you want to pay instrumentally, it's £550. And we only accept Klarna and ClearPay. So let's say, for example, you want to split the payments as opposed to paying in full. Full payment is £489. If you want to split the payments, it's £550. So that could be Klarna or ClearPay. You can split it 3 payments, 4 payments, whatever your agreement is with Klarna or ClearPay. You can text the word installments to Daya, Joanne, or Elise. Their numbers are on the screen. So installments. So for those of you asking about installment, Olakojo, it's showing. Can everyone see the slide, please? Okay. So if you want to spread your payments or split your payments, it's $550. The numbers are on the screen. You have Dio, Joanne, and Olise. Just text the word installment and they would send you a link. Okay. That also is an early bird discount for the first 20 people. Let's have a look at the next slide. Yes, Chisholm. And if you are in Africa, so Nigeria, Ghana, etc., text the word payment to Sonia and Divine. So let's say you're in my country, Nigeria, or Africa as a whole. You've got Sonia and you've got Divine. Alternatively, you can also text the word payment to the email address that's at the bottom of the screen, payments@tritechconsulting.co.uk. Well, let's go. So this is for anyone back home or in any part of Africa. Let's go to the first page and then we'll alternate. So full payment is $489, and that's for the first 20 people. And you've got Esther, Adejoke, and Lolade. Text the word payment. They will send you a payment link, or you can do a transfer. If you're doing a link, you can use a credit card or a debit card. But once we hit 20 people, then it will go back to $650, which is discounted as well. So $489, we cannot reduce, no. $489, guys, £489, please. TDL in itself, there's a lot of information on there. You've got your coaching, you've got your access to immigration advice, you've got your free course. I understand that it's high, but if you look at what's in the market, I think we're doing quite well. You've got career coaching, you've got your mentorship. There's a lot that we're giving for £489. And that's why we've tried to bring it down to as low as possible. Let's go to the next slide. No reduction to £400. $489 is final. Thank you. £550. If you want to split the payments 3 times, 4 times, you can text Dio, Joanne, or Elise. The payments are, sorry, the training is all online. It's all online. So I think we have tried with the discounts. We do our analysis before we announce the fees. It's very important that we do that and we know what is out there. Okay, so when you think about what you're paying and what you're getting, I think it's very good value. So installments is on the screen. Which slide, Yemi? Now, I talked about, we're going to have a 10-minute break as well. I talked about giving you guys both of the courses. Yeah? Talked about giving you access to both of the courses. Is that correct? How many of you would like... Okay, so for those of you signing up today, then what I will do is I will speak to management. And let me see. So how many of you, I know it's going to be a yes. So how many of you would want access to both the UI, UX, and also Microsoft Office? So you want both instead of one. So you can see that we're trying.